Now, from promises of miracle weight loss to help in the bedroom, spam is everyone's pet hate, but did you know we've been putting up with it now for 30 years?
Yes, this week marks the anniversary of the first junk email. Some facts you might not know: spam accounts for more than 14 billion messages globally every day.
According to a recent study, the average office worker in Britain spends 3.5 years of their life dealing with irrelevant emails.
And it's estimated that just 200 individuals are responsible for 80% of the world's spam.
Yes, and Adrian Mars is a technology specialist who's joining us this morning. Adrian, that last statistic there about the 200 people responsible for the bulk of what's out there, well, I mean, explain that. Who are these people? What are they doing it for?
These I think, are mostly in America, but they're pretty well spread around the world. I'd say the majority are still in the States, which only goes to show how far the law has to go in catching up with these swines. They're being paid mostly by scammers, mostly by crooks, to send out spam. So they get a few £100s to send out maybe 1 million emails. It costs very, very, very little to send 1 million emails. It's almost the same cost as sending one email. And because it only takes 1 in 1,000 people to click on spam and get sucked into paying money for either a fake product or a scam, they make their money.
It's often compared with junk mail that comes through your letterbox. The difference, I suppose, is that junk mail is legitimate companies who are just hoping to get your business. Is spam always illegitimate, illegal, fraud, a con, or are there
Pretty
some
well always.
legitimate companies in there?
There are a few legitimate companies in there. There are a few that try spamming, and some of them have made mistakes. Some of them have legitimately bought a list of email from somewhere that they think people have opted into, and often that isn't the case. But 99% of the time, if somebody is sending spam, almost by definition they're a crook. It's a crooked, nasty, slimy thing to do.
How do the spam filters work? I mean, a lot of workplaces and a lot of computers at home, if a spam, how does the computer know what's spam and what's not?
They have lots of different approaches. Most of them work on a statistical thing. So words like breast and enlargement together make it more likely that it's a spam, but the word breast on its own doesn't. So you feed some very clever software a load of spam and you say, learn that this is spam, and they start to spot cleverly, statistically, what's likely to be spam, and then you send it a load of what the anti-spam industry call ham. In other words, non-email, and they've got sort of ham from the spam. And the computer can, just by using statistics, tell the two apart. There's other approaches. One of them is that some companies have fake mailboxes that are used for nothing other than attracting spam, and they know that anything that turns up in that must be spam, and then they block that to everybody else.
I mean, it used to be quite simple to sort of not avoid spam, because you were still getting spam, but you could tell by the top line you weren't going to be interested in a job loss of whatever aids people are trying to get you to buy. They're getting cleverer,
They're
though,
getting
aren't
much
they?
cleverer. What they're doing now often is harvesting email addresses from machines infected with rogue software. So, say your friend's machine gets infected with a malicious piece of software, either because they've opened an attachment, or they've visited a website, or they've been tricked into downloading some dodgy software. And that pillages their machine for every email address it can find, all the emails they've sent, all the emails they've received, perhaps everything in their address book, and then it sends out spam, often appearing as if it comes from that friend or other people in your address book. So you get email that you think is from your friend with a perfectly reasonable line, and it's spam.
And remind us why it was called spam. Who called it spam?
It's typical geek humour. It comes from the Monty Python sketch where everything comes with spam. They all go into a cafe and you can think spam, 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 wonderful spam. And it's because you can't get a meal without spam, just you can't get your email without spam.
Yes.
It's very annoying. Michael White joins us for a look at the papers. Are you bothered by spam a lot? Spam a lot?
Spam a lot. Whoa-ho.
Yes.
I haven't eaten spam for years. What's it like? I remember it vividly. We all had to eat it.